We live.
Check, Rosie.
Put my Xeris on.
You can put it on. Cracker Tinny.
Tinny, bro.
Hey, he was going to have a boat called Cracker Tinny.
Was he?
Yeah, it was going to be one of the names of his boats. Can't remember which one. That was definitely in the mix for the Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It was
It's alright, Guy. It's alright, Guy. This smell. Give me that. This smell.
That's what
Serious. This was in the 80s and 90s. You had to have the strength to be able to cut through a nightclub full of cigarette smoke. Now that we don't have that, we don't need this shit anymore. But it was the smell of Baz in the 80s and 90s.
It was. It was.
And I might choke.
Lovely, isn't it?
What is
Nice,
it
isn't it?
called?
Yeah. Buzz, are you ready? You want to G yourself up?
Serious.
G up.
What?
I'm just drinking Beano's last cider. Thanks, Beano. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Beano.
Well done.
Cheers for coming too, Beano.
It's
And
been
everyone
awesome.
else that came.
It's been awesome.
What are we doing today, Buzz?
Well, I think we're going to have a bit of a yarn about the old fire, aren't we?
We're going to have a yarn about the old fella, mate. Yeah. And there's a yarn about Baz, and because we had our little eulogy talks. Well, I was going to have one.
Yeah.
I had to cut it short because all you guys were going long.
Yeah.
Hey,
We went deep.
you know, went deep.
Went deep.
Yeah, just like Joe Rogan's, he's just talking to the microphone, mate. Talking
Yep.
to the microphone.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you meant deep with your deep voice.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
get in trouble for that
Yeah.
a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't go there, he says.
Try not to do that anymore.
Anyway,
Yeah.
look, there's a few little stories from the little talks that we've had at the Ely Beach one, and the I don't know if we talked too much at the wake at the Bowls Club, but definitely at the funeral one there was some bits and pieces, and we've got a couple of little notes here. Buzz has made notes on his
Baz's podcast notes.
Baz's podcast notes.
Yep.
Yeah. There was one thing I took umbrage to. Umbrage.
Good work.
Yeah, umbrage. I took umbrage to. We're just going to expand on some of the things that maybe there was no context for. Rasky
Can't get everything in.
No, he can't get it. Well, it went long enough anyway. Yeah. And Baz did say to me, apparently through you, that I went too long last time. And I reckon he would say that to all of you now.
Yep.
I might be the.
Yeah, he made a couple of comments about it actually. Yeah.
I might be the favourite now.
Yeah, he could be. Could well be.
I might be the favourite now. But let's say, one of the first things that I was thinking, what are you talking about, Rask? What do you mean? When she said the first time she met our Baz was when he was ripping a new one into some colleague, and it was quite, what'd she say?
Arrogant
and pompous.
Ignorant.
Pompous prick.
Prick.
Yeah, that was some of the words. That was some of the words that were used. So, Buzz, you know it was about Henry.
It was.
That's, and
Old
I
mate
know of
Henry
Henry.
Schmidt.
I'm Henry Schmidt.
Yep.
You want to tell a story?
Okay, I will.
Tell me
Tell me
the story.
I think it was the first time Baz was in Japan, and I think they were in Nagoya or Tokyo, because Henry had set up all the enterprise buyers. Right?
Enterprise car sales.
Enterprise car sales.
Freddie Fox.
Freddie
Fox.
Yep, Freddie Fox.
Kiss your ass and bite your box.
There you go.
I remember that. That was his tagline. I don't know if it was on TV, but they'd say that to every girl. He did, didn't
Probably
he?
did.
He did.
Yeah.
So, he did, didn't he?
Say whatever he wanted, I think.
Mr. Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis. Hi, Mr. Lewis.
Yep. So, Henry was setting up all the buyers, and Baz was going to be the Kobe man.
Kobe
along with
buyer.
his mate, guy became his mate actually, Roger Miller, good guy.
I remember Roger. He was the one with funny eye.
I think one.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Henry and Baz had been in Nagoya or Tokyo, I think it was, and they had a meeting with the Kobe exporter. I think it was Shinko Bussen from memory. The outfit, big outfit, and pretty important meeting. I think it might have been like 12 o'clock. And
Daytime,
noon.
Okay.
Yeah,
High noon.
crack of noon.
High noon.
And they had to be there Baz knew you couldn't be late for these things. That was a big deal. So early on he got the picture about being late. So he woke up in the morning, and Henry would not wake up. He'd been on the piss with Baz, and he just was not waking up no matter what. Baz was throwing things at him. Lightweight. Couldn't freak his piss.
Yeah.
And so Baz knew no Japanese. I don't think he'd ever been on a bullet train, maybe, but he'd find his way to Kobe and to this meeting, which he did. Yes. And I think he got there on time, and I think it all went pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm remembering rightly, Henry turned up later on.
Yes.
That evening, and they're at the Muhan bar, which is this awesome bar. It was a horseshoe bar. Yeah. And little place, so you could sit anywhere at the bar and talk to people across the other side. Yeah. It was awesome, and that's where I had my first real beer, ice cold Sapporo beer.
I was hoping you were going to say beer.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So Baz.
What year is this? Not early 90s?
I'd say no. It would have to be. It would have to be 87. When he first went there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was probably just when Madonna had come out. It's like a virgin.
She was 85, I think.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah. But she would have been big then. Yeah. Big in Japan.
Yeah.
So he was ripping into Henry, giving it to him every way, and that's when Carol happened in and saw that.
She didn't have the context, did she?
No. Probably thought that's a bit rough, bro.
Yeah. But then I'd say probably deserved it.
Probably
deserved it.
Yeah. No. Henry.
He would have deserved it.
Yeah.
If Baz was given it, he would have deserved it. That's what Nana would say.
Yeah. Nana would definitely have been on Baz's side.
Yeah.
But like Pete, really. But when Pete punched that kid at school, and then the headmaster or the teacher went over to Nana and Poppers and said, Peter Moore, out of line, punched another boy. Yeah. And then I said, must have deserved it. My Petey. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Yes. So that's the Henry story, and that's
right.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Right.
But they stayed mates, so it was good.
They stayed mates.
For most of the time.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
I
never really looked too much like old Henry Schmidt. I didn't have too much to do with Japan, so I, just got a vibe that wasn't what. Yeah, that's all good. Right.
It's all good.
Right.
Baz found the good in everyone, mate. He found the good in everyone.
Oh, because Nana said to.
Yeah.
Right, mate. So, what else we got from Japan? Have we got anything else from Japan that we need to talk about, like those early days? What about the earthquake one?
Oh, yeah. Did
she say something about the earthquake?
I like to talk about the earthquake. Yeah. Carol did too. Carol went over there quite well.
Yeah.
So the earthquake.
This is the one that you slept through because the bookcase fell on you in the bed. And you still didn't wake up.
No, but I'll tell you what.
Okay, tell me the real story. I'm going to hear it with Baz's side.
With context, right? So, Mount Eden and the Mad Pommy Girls from Andorra had turned up on maybe Thursday or Friday.
Oh, okay.
And I think from memory, maybe Monday was a holiday, and Tuesday 5:46 earthquake struck, right? So we've been on the piss, mainly with Baz, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's 5.
Yeah.
And Carol's right, we were the last.
Can you do that 5 days in a row without stopping?
Back then, not now.
Okay.
Not now. Haven't got it in.
Yeah.
Maybe 3's one of them.
Yeah.
But so we were out every night, mainly out with Baz. He was out shouting everybody drinks. They were loving it. He loved it. He really had a lot of time for Mount Eden and those girls. And we were staying in. I was living in Nigel's apartment. I don't know if Nigel was there. I think Nigel might have been off selling the Rolex that he nicked off Baz at the bar.
Who's Nigel?
He was a rugby player. Nigel Ward. He played for World Rugby Company. Wasn't famous.
What's this got to do with the story? He just happened to be there.
We were living in his apartment.
Oh.
But he wasn't there.
Oh.
Because he'd nicked Baz's Rolex. And I think he might have been off, getting some money for it. But,
there's a lot of stuff that went on in Japan you just don't really get to hear about.
Baz used to get to the bar, especially get the sunflower, and he'd have this 25 grand Rolex, whatever it was, gold thing, and he put it on the bar. And then that was it. And then one night, when he was drinking with old mate Nigel, that Rolex went missing. So I suspect Nigel might have needed the money. I don't.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Okay.
Might be making false allegations.
No, that story's worth telling.
Yeah.
Story's worth telling. Let's get
So
it
anyway,
out
we were staying in Nigel's apartment,
Yeah.
and I think he was away selling the Rolex. And we had 2 English girls, Eden, me, and Troy Boy might be staying with us. Troy Boy who worked for Baz.
All right.
And there was this Canadian bird who was Nigel's mate. Mad as anything, mad as a hatter.
Yeah.
And
what is it about Japan that brings out the mad in people?
I don't know. I think it's because they can.
Right.
Yeah.
They can get away with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Back then, anyway.
Yeah.
Probably still now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of people that sort of didn't really make it back home thought they were pretty famous when they got to Japan and went all out.
Yeah.
But she was alright. She was just a bit mad. But so we were having fun all weekend, and at 5:45, this thing hits, and we're in this apartment. I think we're on the 2nd or 3rd floor, Nigel's place, above the supermarket in Port Island, which is the man-made island. So
is it the Rocco Island?
no, that was Port Island.
Oh, okay.
So that's one closer to Santa Maria.
Right.
Port Lino went out from Santa Maria straight out there.
Right.
Rock Island was a little bit further
Around
away,
the corner.
but nicer. Yeah. It was a flash island.
Yeah.
So Port Island was just okay. And so place, falls apart. Big TV, like those big, what about a 40-inch TV, I suppose back then, 30 years ago, fell off the stand on the floor, and like the bookcase or the sliding door or something fell on me.
Yeah.
And they kind of woke me up eventually.
Yeah.
I got up, and I was pretty dusty, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I looked around Nigel's apartment. I was living there, so it felt like it was my apartment at the time too. And I said, "You wankers! What have you done to it? What's this?"
You thought it was a rock and roll party.
Yeah.
Oh no! And so you didn't realise there was an earthquake.
No, they explained. Oh, that's right. They explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's full of shit." And I walked outside, opened the branch lighter, went on the balcony, and I looked straight down, and at the bottom where the ground joined the bottom of the building, there was a gap about that big.
Wow.
So I thought, yep, no, I think they've got,
you believe in it. You believe in it.
They've got me there. And then about, I think, maybe 20 minutes later, the phone rings.
Yeah.
And Mount Eden, he answers it from memory.
Yeah.
And Baz, he's on the phone. And he goes, "Would you bastards stop shagging over there?" I don't know how you think of that. He actually used a couple of other words there, but I thought I'd just try to make it.
Let me guess. Well, you can't stop fucking shagging over there. Would that be about right?
Yeah, that's
a bit close.
Yeah,
we're close.
That's not bad.
That's
I'd say.
It was quite direct.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't like that. It wasn't that.
It wasn't like that. No.
But yeah, no, that was Eden was pissing himself laughing, and that's what he did. He'd just find a serious situation, whether it was a funeral or whatever it was, and he'd just find a joke. Just go out with a joke, just everyone just
calm everyone down.
Calm the farm, have a laugh.
Oh, that's giving me an idea.
Yeah. So that was that story. I was talking to Carol earlier today. Yeah. And I said, "Were you in Rockamichi?" I couldn't quite remember where things were at, whatever then. And she said, no, she was at her place in Nunobiki, which is up by the Shinkansen set.
Cat house.
At the cat house. She had 30 cats running around, like 30 feral cats. Sorry, mate.
I was there.
Sorry.
I was there.
They were feral. So.
I was there.
And
I've said.
And she said that she thought it was something to do with the Shinkansen and tunnels. Well, there must have been some big accident in the tunnels. That's what it felt like.
Oh.
And then her phone rings, and she's got someone from the office in Osaka. This is 5:46 in the morning. Yeah. Someone that works in her office in Osaka is on the phone going, "Are you okay?" Because the phone's still working.
Yeah.
She goes, "Are you okay?" Like she's like, "I don't know what's going on." Yeah, it was crazy. Made a mess.
Yeah,
really did make a mess, that thing.
So the bit that Gillian had in her little talk about the about Baz helping the ladies out,
Yep.
in the buildings
Yep.
where he lived.
Yep.
And how I remember it is that, and Baz saying that
Hang on, I just got to do this or Maureen will give me shit.
Yeah. I heard that
More good now.
Maureen was giving you shit during your little talk in the thing, because she thought that you were
She thought I
a
was
cokehead,
cokehead.
or something like that, with all your sniffing.
Or sniffing.
It wasn't that.
No.
It was just a cold.
It was a little cold. I was getting over.
How you going?
A little bit.
How you going now? You still a little bit?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I've got over it pretty
close.
much. But yeah. Last
Yeah,
room.
okay.
Yeah.
But,
We're all good.
But we're back to the story about where he was living. In my recollection of how Baz had told it, is that because he was a barbarian gaijin foreigner with a beard and all that sort of stuff, and
Look the part.
coming home at all sorts of hours of the night, and I remember him saying something like he got locked out once, so he just climbed up the building.
That's right. It was
climbed up the building
on the second floor.
Lived on the second floor, just climbed up, and they saw him do it, and they would have thought,
Oh, freaked them out. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't even want to look at him or
No,
acknowledge him.
they'd walk back, just put their head down and sort of ignore him.
Yeah.
But that was quite common.
Yeah.
More if you're a foreigner.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I guess during the earthquake, or the aftermath of the earthquake, what happened there that changed people's
view of
him?
So what happened there is he was looking out off his balcony, and there was some fires going on in different places he could see. And over the road there was this 4-story co-op supermarket, and he watched it as, I think it was either the second or the third story.
Yeah.
Just disappeared.
Wow.
And he just dropped one
Wow.
story, and it looked like it was a 3-story building.
Wow.
So he's looking at that.
I think I remember the footage of that, like from the news at the time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And so he's just watched that. It's got fires going around, and brings us up and gives us a bit of a one-liner.
Serve, yeah.
And then I think he decided that he better go and make sure that everyone's okay. So
That's a top bloke, isn't it?
That's all right, eh? So the way Gillian told it, it was a 12-story building.
Mm.
But I know that was only 6 stories, that building, so I think Bash just doubled it to make it sound better.
Oh, yeah. We probably went up twice.
Oh, yeah. So he goes up to the top, whatever story it was, we'll see.
Yeah.
And he's just going in all the apartments, just knocking on the door and just saying, "Are you okay?" And there was some old lady there that was struggling, and so he carried her down the stairs.
Yeah.
Down the 6 stories, but we'll call it 12. 12 does sound good.
Yeah.
And he was pretty strong back then, so it would have been.
He was used to carrying deer out of the, when you're hunting out of the bush and all that sort of thing. So
yeah, she probably only weighed about 45 kg or something.
Yeah.
A little old Japanese lady.
It's only a little fawn.
Yeah. So after that, there was a bit of a legend in the block, and whenever they'd walk past him, they thank you, arigatou gozaimasu, and thank you very much, and so the status, we're talking about status today, weren't we? Status went up big time.
Yes.
Japanese brothers.
Legend.
Yeah, so he went from zero to hero.
Zero to hero, yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that was cool. And then at the Kobe Club, see that there was they had some things, there was some electricity, because we had TV and stuff, so there was electricity, most places. There was, the phones were working, which was handy.
Yeah.
But there was no water, pretty much anywhere. So I remember he went to the Kobe Club, which, how he got to the Kobe Club, I don't know. I guess he drove. He might have been able to drive. He wouldn't be able to take the train because his tracks where he was, they'd collapsed.
Right.
So the line was collapsed.
I remember there was some like a elevated motorway type of thing that had collapsed down.
That was just further down the road from him, towards Osaka. Yeah. And you know why they found out that part of the motorway collapsed?
No.
Because when they built it, say 10, 15, 20 years earlier, or whatever it was, they, instead of making it solid concrete, they'd gone and poured all the rubbish into the middle of those towers that holding it up. Because then they didn't have to pay to get rid of the rubbish, right? Because that was a huge expense.
Yeah.
They were naughty boys.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But anyway, he found his way to the Kobe Club. I'm guessing he drove the Benz in there or something. And and he was there. They were using the water in the swimming pool. Yeah. And they were taking buckets, and they were taking it to all the houses, apartments around there, and giving people buckets of water so they could tip it in and flush their toilets.
Yeah, okay.
He spent, I think he spent a couple of days doing that.
Yeah.
Just whatever he could do to help, he was out there doing it.
Alright.
And then we walked out because we couldn't get off Port Island because the bridge was stuffed.
Yeah.
So you could walk on it, but you couldn't drive on it.
Right.
So we walked from Port Island after 3 days. Got a bit hungry because we couldn't find any food. Anyway, we walked. It took us about 2.5 hours from Port Island.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about getting lost. And it was in your car, that
FTO, wasn't it?
FTO, yeah.
Your car, that.
Liz and I were over there for a holiday, so it'll be the second time that I went over. Must have been Doggy's 21st.
I think it would have been.
Yep. And we'd followed Baz out to, or we'd picked up the car from out at, what's the yard? What's it called? Sasayama, yeah, out there. And Baz is driving back at the end of the day, and we're following. So, so we're following, and what we were following the bends, right? And it's a left-hand drive.
That's right.
So he goes up to
it's a mafia car.
Yeah, but he goes up to a toll gate to get on the motorway, but there's a left-hand drive version.
What's that?
Yeah, there was.
I thought he had to reach over, but there was
there was a left-hand drive version. So we come up behind him, and so now I've got to try and reach over to do it out this side, work it out. By the time I look up, because the road goes in a bend like that, and then after that it forks both ways. Yeah. So no idea where he's gone.
Yeah.
So I had to guess, and I guessed wrong. And I was going round and round and round and round and round and round.
I know you mean.
And we're out in the Wops with it was all Japanese words on the things.
Yeah.
So it was
not real
hot at the moment, isn't it, mate? Yeah.
Sweaty, hot and sweaty.
Yeah, hot and sweaty.
You're not real.
Pretty hot for a muggy day, eh, Bill?
Hey.
But he cut and run. He cut and run. Left me stranded.
And that would have taken some skill with the speed that he drove too. He drove about 40 k's an hour on the motorway.
Wow.
And his Benz just cruising along.
I just went the wrong way, and no way I could catch up to. I didn't know where he was and stuff.
I know what you mean because I was playing golf out there recently, and we did the same thing with my mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we were in the right in the end, but it was pretty confusing. I know exactly.
Yeah. So no, that was good fun. There's a whole story.
No GPS back then.
That was Baz had left me in the lurch, and I think he had a bit of fun with it.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Ha ha.
Yeah. He'll work it out. He'll work it out.
I did. Yeah. By the next morning, I got home.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't you sleep outside in the car outside Lawson or something?
I went to a Lawson and tried to get some sense out of some Japanese that had like green hair and shit like that. Those young punks.
Yeah.
And so when I was asking them, they thought there was a great laugh. They went and got everyone else to come out and watch. They were going to give me the wrong directions. That's what I thought. That's what I. So yeah, they gave me the directions. I said, yeah, fuck you very much. They pointed this way. I went that way, and I still got lost. They might have been telling me the right thing. I don't know, but it just seemed like a bad vibe. But I ended up parking outside a cop shop. Well, I thought it was a train station. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
There was lights on inside, and I parked in such a way that instead of the parking bays, being like that, I parked like this so that no one could come up behind me and block me in.
Right.
So that I could get out either way.
Yeah.
And I got a knock on the door waking me up, and it was cops. And with my best pidgin English, I explained. 6 o'clock in the morning, that service station over there is going to be open. This fuel tank is empty. Pointed.
Yeah.
And all they gave a shit about was that I parked within the lines.
Oh.
I had to turn around and park within the lines. Because that was illegal.
That'd be right.
That was illegal.
That's Japan.
Yeah. So anyway, I got home. Thanks, Baz. Thanks, Baz. Well, I had a story up here. Talking about driving, I'm back on the farm.
You were going to talk about that there.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the farm. Well, actually, this is a cross between the farm and Cheeseman Road. We had the big house in Cheeseman Road.
That's right.
After he sold Gedham's Hill, and big fancy house with the big U driveway, going round and had stables and shit like that from when it was back in the old times. And in the turnaround area into where the stables were, there's a big tree, huge big tree. I don't know what it was.
Massive, yeah.
It was a huge big tree, and the old Datsun 720 Ute.
We found some photos.
So I think it must have been school holidays because I was hanging around with him at work, and maybe making go-karts or some shit. And we went home for lunch to Cheeseman Road, and Sue would have been making lunch, and we went and had some lunch, and I got every little bit of driving in that I could. You know, I would have been well underage, you know, I would have been 13 or something, maybe even, it would have been something like that. And so quickly had lunch, and then I'll go outside to reverse the ute, turn it around, so that when we get in, it's facing out.
Yep.
Just any little lame excuse just to drive the ute. And it was one of those flat deck utes, you know, the sort of the cab chassis one. And I was backing around, turning around, and I just did that thing where, I mean, sure, everyone's done it, hopefully. You just nail the wrong pedal. It's not the brake, it's the accelerator. And I just launched straight back into this tree, and bent the tailgate in. It wasn't too bad, because I grabbed the sledgehammer and I started whacking it straight. But Baz came out and he heard the noise, and we were about to go back to work, and he said, "What's going on here?" I said, "I'm just straightening up the tailgate." Okay, righto, yeah. Just fixing a dent in this tailgate, you know, like it was all caved in, like a big V, but I'd managed to straighten it pretty much out. I'm sure the boys back at work would have fixed it properly, I suppose, but yeah, I did it. He didn't say anything about it, you know, and that was all good. But it was only a couple of years later that he had an issue with another ute, an XD Falcon ute, and the story went that as he was driving home from the pub by himself, like I'd normally drive him home from the pub, but maybe I was a little bit older by then and doing shit by myself, he'd dropped a bag of potatoes or something off the front seat.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, that's what he went with. That's what he went with.
That was the best he had.
It might have been to get some insurance, I'm not sure. But this bag of potatoes had fallen off the front seat and gone into the floor, and he was reaching down to get them.
I didn't want to run over the pedals. You know?
Yeah. When he came up, he was steering straight down the barrel of a power pole into the ditch, just around the corner from the farm. So it's Snowsall's Road.
Yeah.
So he nailed this thing, and someone found him. I think someone found him walking around, did they? Or not?
I can't remember the story.
I think he might have been walking.
Yeah, I think I was in Oxford. Yeah.
He didn't know where he was or something. Someone found him, and they happened to recognise him. "Oh, you're Barry Gibson," and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, they didn't know where to take him. They were going to take him to the hospital, and then he goes, when she said, "Oh, you're Barry Gibson," and he goes, yes, yes, that's me. And he knew his name, and it all started coming back to him.
Fairly well.
Oh yeah, he was out.
Yeah.
And so he said, "No, don't take me to the hospital," because he was hammered. You know, he would have got put through for whatever. He said, "Take me back to the farm. Turn around. I know where I live. So took back to the farm, and he went and got the tractor, and went and dragged the ute out of the ditch and dragged it home or something like that. And then the next I don't know if the next day or weeks later or a month later, something like that, he saw in the paper this lady's name, and he recognised it was that lady that from that night.
Yeah.
And she must have been pregnant because she had a baby.
Right.
A month, 3 months later, whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he sent up the biggest bunch of flowers to the hospital from Barry Gibson.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that night she would have saved his ass from getting in trouble, at least, you know.
Got him home.
But I remember all the boys gathering around the ute in the garage the next day, and it was in the bay where next to the tuning bay. So that first, that one with the blue lift, with they're all two-post hoist, and it was sitting there, and everyone was marvelling at how dead centre this big V was in the front of the bonnet of this XDU, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said nothing. Because he never said anything about me back-tending the back of that ute.
Probably fair.
So it was fair. It was a fair deal. All the other boys were giving him shit about the potatoes and all that sort of stuff.
Did he get Rangy to fix it?
I don't know. I don't know who fixed it. I don't know who fixed it.
We'll ask him.
Rangy.
We're asking you.
Rangy Broman, did you fix that ute? It was dead centre, big V in it. Yeah, so that was a good one. We did touch on one of the talks, how I did have to drive him home from town out to the country, via the Waranga Heka pub when I was 13, and right up to probably, I don't know, for a number of years really, but it was always good fun because I got to drive.
Yeah.
And
what do you do in the car park? No fun. So
no, I parked in a certain place in the car park where I could see the side door of the Waranga Heka pub, and I'd wait till closing time, and then we'd go home, and he'd teach me to cook something. Usually it was mashed potatoes. So, that was my thing that I learned how to cook. There was some time we did some Spanish neck chicken, something that was some Auntie Mole's recipe or something like that. With all the lard, with the lard, all that stuff.
Italian chicken.
Italian chicken, Spanish neck chicken. So it was really nice.
Still got that recipe.
Have you?
Yeah.
And he did a lot of swapping recipes with people, didn't he? You'd ring him up, all these people. How do you cook this? How do you cook this?
Write it all down. When he got good with these things, he'd write it down and he'd send it through. Good. But I just remember the nights there cooking up a thing after waiting at the pub car park for forever. Doggy was just talking to me today, saying, "Oh, don't you remember the comb over joke thing?" It's like, oh mate, I don't know. He used to do that probably more in Japan.
We probably did, but he said, oh, he would have done that at the pub at his garage, and he would have done it at the pub. He said, like, I was in the car park, or I was out doing something at the thing, So, like I didn't get to see a lot of that sort of stuff. I was just in the background a little bit, maybe, on some of those things, and so it sounded like you had a good time in Japan, So I mean, I had a good time on the farm too, but we were like working together, or I was doing all the work and he was doing the drinking.
Good team.
Supplying the bulldozer, and I'd go and do the slashing, and I'd go and feed the deer. And that time that I had my school certificate maths exam, I'm going, Beth, we've got to go, mate. We've got to go. No, we've got to do this first. We've got to do this. We've got to feed the deer. So I was at the limit of how late you can be for an exam. It's half an hour, and after that you're not allowed in. They lock the doors. So I was right at the limit of that. Pulled up outside in the ute. Jumped out, and off I went into this. Just passed me in maths exam, but that wasn't really his fault. It's because I got kicked out of the smart class the year before for not doing homework. But that might have been because I was in the Waranga Heka pub car park.
Sure.
Not his fault. I wouldn't trade it. But there was that making the. My memories are driving home, sitting in the pub, waiting for him to come out. Going home, putting on Willie Nelson, Stardust album, and everything was nice.
And would you have watched, I remember from back that time, I used to watch the Two Ronnies a lot. And
it's possible.
Yeah,
it's
possible. I have a memory of that.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. No, once it got to that time of the night, we're after 10 o'clock, sort of thing, cooking up a thing.
Yeah.
We'll be doing it till midnight, but no, there's no
music time.
Yeah, no, lucky to get a feed, and I remember one night he come out of the side door of the pub, and he's got a box of beer, whole dozen tall bottles of beer,
like a
crate.
Oh yeah,
the old ABC crates.
Because that was a wholesale too, wasn't it?
I
remember that.
You can do whatever you want there. I think when you and he can't try, and he's tough, everything's, like if you want to take a top off a bottle and it's you know, being a bit of a pain in the ass, that bottle could get broken. Just like, you know, I've seen them rip the ring tabs out of these things if it's not happening fast enough. So yeah, but what percentage battery have we got there, Guy? What have we got? Yeah.
I was just going to write you. There's nothing showing here. Is it really
That's
recording?
all right. That's okay. Yeah, no, it's
where,
all right.
where do I find the battery?
It doesn't matter.
It's black.
That's all good. It'll stop when it stops, and we'll start again. But there, one of the things was
one thing we've got.
What?
Time and sunshine.
Time and sunshine. Is that a saying? Is that Uncle Goldie's? Yeah, one thing we got. And don't forget to smell the roses.
That one too.
That was a saying. That was a saying. But it came out with this crate of beer. It was in this hand, actually. I remember it was in this hand. And as he's coming out, he's sort of going down the step or something like that. I don't think it hit the doorway or anything like that. He just grabbing it, and the whole piece of wood is still in his hand, but the whole dozen bottles of beer go smash into the car park, and he's just looking fucking furious.
Remember that, look.
Turn around, and then like a few minutes later comes out with another dozen beer. You know, I don't know what happened in there, but didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't offer anything. So we're good. But that was funny as hell for me.
Let me guess, someone else cleaned it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We weren't there long enough to see anyone rushing around and do it, but you know, geez, yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah. Yeah. What else have we got? What have we got on our list, brother?
Mate, we've got
handshakes. What about handshakes? With,
handshakes,
what's that kid's name? Phil Joe? Is that Harvey's?
Rach and Harvey's youngest boy.
Yeah, and he's called Feral Joe. Like, who calls their kid Feral?
Just Feral. Feral's fine.
Feral?
Yeah.
So that's his, like, on his birth certificate. The story's worth telling.
Okay.
Jeez, you know.
That was a good photo, wasn't it?
Just lining up for the handshake, and like eye contact.
Harvey's behind there, it's like
hey, this is what you need to do, boy. Yeah, get in there, mate. Get it right in. Yeah. Don't let him grab the end of your fingers.
No, that was number one rule. Get right in.
Yeah, get right in.
Yeah.
Get right in.
Yeah.
But don't bounce back either. Yeah. You got to get right in, and then commit.
Yeah. Yeah, because he used to, if he got right in, he'd pull back and he'd slip back and
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, pull. Yeah,
some tricks.
I know, and he had the good arm wrestling thing too, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, he was pretty good with that. I don't think there's many people. Might have only been a couple of people that ever beat him.
Yeah, probably. I think Brett Lee was quite surprised.
Yeah.
Big strong fireman. He thought he'd take this guy easy.
Yeah.
Don't know if it ever happened, to be honest, but
yeah, I think there was some Irish fella in a bar somewhere.
There was a couple I heard about. Yeah. There's always someone.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. Uncle Bill used to say that. There's always some. What did Uncle Bill? There's always some saying like that. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
But, that was.
Yeah. What do we got? I've done the damn thing in the youth story. What are the nicknames though? The nicknames. Yeah. You're Buzz. I'm Flybys. We've got Boone. Daniel Boone.
Yeah.
Scotty Dog.
Are we still allowed to call him that?
Yes. Yeah. No, that's what he's always been called. You know, like
Baby Bear.
Baby Bear. There's Damo as Baby Bear.
I think it's certainly
he's happy to have a bear name, I would think.
Yeah.
Anyone would be happy to have a bear name. That's the ultimate. If you can get a bear name, that's the ultimate level of.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a dog name. You're not a fly. You're not Flybys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dog Wash.
Yeah.
That's all right though. That's all right. Dog Wash is all right.
Great name.
Yeah.
Great name. Everyone still wonders why is he called that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Maxi Plumber. He upgraded to Maxi Plumber. He used to be Maxi Cockatoo.
Ah, that's right.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what he got up to at night, but no, I think he was on the boat called Cockatoo or something. But anyway, there's Maxi Navy and there's a few. Hey, Guy Bear.
Guinea.
Guinea.
Yeah. Used to be you, Yogi Bear, for a while when you were doing your hot yoga.
And you're just lucky to be a bear. You know, really. Jodie was Jodie Bear. She got Jodie Bear straight away.
Yeah.
You know, not showing off or anything, but
yeah. No, she was.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. So.
Who else? What else?
Jodie Bear did a lot of daughter work.
Yeah.
Because being the local one.
Yeah.
She'd be. She'd always be shopping down at Rivers or what's that other one? Johnny Big.
Oh yeah.
And she'd be. Like she'd come back from shopping, and she's got all of these shirts, like 7 shirts, and then a couple of pairs of pants or something. All these socks, 3 pairs of shoes. We'd box it up in a box this big, send it up on the courier, you know, and just, you know, so there you go. But we don't even tell them it's coming.
Yeah.
So it gets a surprise.
I love that.
Yeah. So you know, like she'd always be trying to look after him with. I don't know, for some reason he just liked the shitty old pair of shoes that he'd worn out. You know, it sounds like
probably because they're comfortable.
Yeah, worn them in.
Yeah, don't like wearing shoes in.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since the forklift accident,
That's right. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it the other day.
One thing we never talked about really yet.
So what happened? He was taking it off, and it was raining.
2008, I think it was 2008, near enough.
And it was up at Black's Road.
Black's Road, the original place.
The original place, yeah.
Probably.
Lovely spot.
I think he'd already subdivided it front and back.
Right, so it was after.
And I think he might have even
started.
I think he might have even started having building a place there. You know, the foundation. I think maybe, I'm not sure. But he was also bringing in one of the other things we didn't mention. That was one of his aspects of Ely Beach was that he was importing. You're buying for him.
Yeah.
You're buying for him. He ever pay you for that, bro?
We're all
you're all even. You're all more than even.
Yeah, I think we're.
But you bought a bunch of crane trucks.
Yeah.
And there was crane trucks.
They had a rule, just quickly jumping in. They had a rule in Aussie at the time where you could bring in anything if it was over 15 years old.
Right.
And in Japan, you'd find these trucks that was 15 to sort of 20, whatever years old. And I remember, I bought them one. It was a green crane truck. I bought them.
Yeah.
I think it had done 2,000 Ks.
Wow.
It was 16 years old.
Is that the one that big steel plates were on?
I think it might have been.
Because those steel plates, we've still got stuff for, the big 5/8 high tensile steel, 3/4 steel.
It wasn't a big truck. It was like a 2 or 3 ton sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it was like brand new. It had been in a shed somewhere or in a garage somewhere or a factory. And it's obviously only been used once a year to go and pick something up and not gone very far. Sorry to break.
He was bringing in a bunch of trucks, and so a lot of the trucks that were around Ely at the time, or maybe even now still, were trucks that he bought in.
Yeah.
And he'd tart them up, and Carol come and clean up all the stuff and paint up bits and pieces and sell them. And that was a good little business for a little bit. Because that was after he'd got out of the boat sort of charter boat business and stuff like that. He had the other charter boat that we never really talked about, the Kookaburra. Big boat with Davey. I don't know why all that went. I know Davey died.
I think they got out of it before that. I'm not sure why. I think it just maybe had enough.
Yeah, I think he just got out of the charter thing. Anyway, he had the trucks, and one of the fellas that had bought a truck off him also wanted him to fix his forklift.
That's right.
And this fella,
because he used to service people's.
Yeah, he just did a few jobs, especially the ones that he sold.
Yeah.
And this fella bought around the truck with a forklift on the back.
Yep.
And I can't remember his name. It starts with A. Andrew, Anthony, something like that. He had a business that was making steel house frames.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. So they would have bought
these days they call them true core steel frame. But they all riveted together. Had a big factory sort of thing where it made all the frames, steel frames.
So
for
a crane truck probably.
It must have bought the crane truck for placing these things. So, but he bought around the. Bought around the forklift, and they got on, had a couple of beers that evening, and the next morning, him and Chris were going to go out and take this forklift off off the truck, and I guess they were going to crane it off. I guess that's the only way.
I thought he was backing it off.
Well, there's no, the truck's just there. It wasn't a tilt tray. So
I thought, sure, I heard was that he was driving it off.
well, no, what he was doing, like the truck was parked on a slight angle like this,
Yep.
down towards that big mango tree.
Yeah, cool.
One where it's got a picture of the old ambulance, 351 Ford V8 motor and gearbox hanging from the tree from a chain block for years.
Yeah.
I think I got that photo, but that the truck was on this angle, and it was early morning. There's a bit of dew, so Baz got in, and it was a steel deck truck, if I remember rightly, and Baz got in to sort of shift it around a bit to get it in the middle or something, to do something, something like that, and it just skidded on the dew, on the steel, and it just, and then it hit the lip of the truck and went like that, and Baz thought, all right, I'm going to have to jump, and he did this Superman jump, like from where it was and all that, because I got one of those phone calls like we had the other day from Carol, and it was like, oh, this has happened, he's gone away in the ambulance, and this blah blah blah, and so it was a little bit deja vu the other day, because I had one of those phone calls back in 2008, and
well, you got big shoulders, mate, you get those phone calls.
yeah, well, Johnny on spot, but Jody and I hit the road, and we found out where he's going to Mackay, and we've sort of figured that he didn't have any clothes and stuff, so we figured we'll go get some clothes, what he needs.
Yep.
Carol already gone.
Oh, they're taking him to Mackay, had they?
Taking him to Mackay, and in the ambulance.
Yep.
I think, and Carol had gone in or something like that. But Chris had, what had happened is he'd done the superhuman jump, and he'd actually made it far enough to get away from the mast of the forklift. So that the mast of the forklift's here, it's gone to fall off the truck, right? And he's made it far enough, his leap is far enough away to get away from that.
Yeah.
But with the momentum and inertia of the thing, and the forklift forks are only held in by gravity. Like you could actually lift them up because there's a chain that goes over the top. Right. You could actually lift them up. So when it went like that, it flung the set of forks and all the rack sort of thing that's at the top. It flung it up, and that's what smashed onto his leg. So it was like he got away, but not quite enough when the thing come. And so he was trapped under. One leg was all smashed to bits, both bones and all that, the lower leg. And Chriso was either there or just got back or something like that. And Chriso, when he got the jack, and jacked it up straight away, because in those sorts of accidents, if you're trapped under something for too long and you go and jack it up, people die from something. I think it's blood pressure doing something or whatever it is, but you have to keep pressure on things if in those sorts of things if it's been on for too long. But because it was so quick, he was able to get him out, drag him out, and get off to the hospital. And when I got there, I did have photos. I will have photos somewhere, but the server died the other day.
The server back now?
Yeah, got the server back now, so I might
would have been handy the other day, wouldn't it?
Would have been handy the other day, but Maggie's safe, so yeah, three things happening once. We've got Jody, 3 weeks later we've got Baz, and then the day that I go to do Baz's photos, the computer server died with all of the photos on and all the business software. So Maggie, the old dog, she's safe.
She's safe.
Three threes. We were good. So I've got the photo of the jack still under the forklift there, and I see a bit of a dent in the ground where it was. Mate, thank you. Yeah, that would have been a hard thing. But Baz had a lot of dramas coming back from that. There was
major, wasn't it?
Massive amounts of. They wanted to amputate his leg, and
they were close, eh?
Yeah, maybe they should have. Maybe I don't know. Hard to say. you know, as it was, it sort of stuffed up his hip probably from not walking right, and you know, probably put on the weight because he couldn't exercise anymore, and all those things. And lots of cellulitis and all sorts of weird issues from the leg smash in 2008, and that just basically took out all of the business opportunities, I suppose, with the trucks, you know, because it took him years to get back to that. He sort of focused on doing the house when he got back to so he subdivided that bit of land off and sold it, and was obviously living off that money. But he also put the money into building the house on the front bit of the land. And I guess when that got good enough, he sold that. Yeah. And I don't know what happened after that. I think
bought the
Winnebago, but he also went a lot of the time to look after Carol's mother in the UK.
And that's when he spent 6 months with us as well.
Oh, was it? Yeah. So he had a bit of a mooch around the world, meeting new friends.
Yes.
I can imagine there'll be a lot of people in England, butchers and beer makers.
Oh, yeah. He loved the local butcher, didn't he?
Yeah, butchers and the beer makers. So there'll be a tavern story. There'll be and plus a whole lot of people that did plastic welding and all these cool little stories. That
I enjoyed that time.
Lots of people, but yeah, we didn't sort of mention the forklift side of things and how some of that sort of stuff happened.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the Phil Joe handshake at Christmas.
Yeah.
Lining up for this thing.
Yeah. Major.
It was a good look, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
No, that was.
I just.
I don't know who took that photo. It might have been Mike. Mike's seen a bunch of photos.
Yeah, that was nice.
Over and Pete did too, and we got some good photos.
Yeah, no, that's gold.
Yeah.
Thanks for the photos, people. Yeah. Right. So, do you want to talk about the comb over after a joke, mate? Because I don't know that. Johnny was talking about
more of a
before,
Japan thing. He'd bet the Kobe Club and you'd have all these guys around him at the bar there, and he'd tell a joke, and he'd get into the joke. He'd get up, he's on the bar still, he'd get into the joke, and he'd start laughing at this joke, you'd go, he'd always trying to keep his hair combed over.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah, so that was it. That was what about. He went through a stage there for about, I don't know, it would have been about five or more years where he did it all the time.
It was for his 21st, and the first time he dug a hole behind the Kobe Club, and everyone was really upset.
That was it. That was hardcore. Yeah, that was it was a good party. Yeah.
Yes. All right, so let's have a look. Baby Bear. I'm going to say thank you to Baby Bear. Thank you. Thumbs up to Baby Bear for helping.
Which one was it?
I don't know. Could be this one. Baby Bear helped out making those decks for Buzz's wedding, which turned into also being for Buzz's 60th.
Yeah.
So Baby Bear was fresh off the boat from New Zealand.
19 years old, wasn't he?
Dreadlocks.
18?
Dreadlocks, mate.
18
years
old. Yeah. Dreads. Yeah.
Saved from living in a caravan and about to join the Black Power gang.
That wouldn't have been a good move.
Wouldn't have been a good move, mate. But he came over and he did the right thing and got some training from Baz.
That's right.
Training. And I remember the time. Actually, the reason he cut his dreadlocks off is that green ants got in there and started making a nest.
That is feral.
Yeah, that's feral, eh? It's a little feral joke.
Yeah.
Nothing on Damo, mate.
Geez.
Yeah. But Damien was, what would you say, stubborn?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know his middle names? You know what his middle names are? Barry James.
There you go.
You know? So maybe that's why he's stubborn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Could be. But Baz had a little template that he'd put on the posts, and then he'd get the router and make some slot or something like that for where the rails go in for the deck, for the posts and rails for the deck. And Damien's job was to hold this template that the router would go within.
Okay.
But you know, you don't hold inside where the router's going to be cutting. But
you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Yeah. But Baz had told him a few times, don't put your finger there, mate. Don't put your thumb there. And then one time, there was a chunk come out of his thumb. I guess you got to learn the hard way some lessons in life, I suppose. But
Cheers for the sacrifice
Hey.
today, mate. Baby beer. Well done.
thumbs up,
Yeah.
mate. Good on you.
Big effort.
Yeah.
Big
I
effort.
seen, you, I seen you an emoji.
That was
Yeah.
6 months of 6 months of working hard.
Yeah. Putting that deck up for
Oh,
your.
the deck and the pagoda and
Yeah.
there's so much there. It was huge. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I'd go up every now and then and I'd look and go, what? This is just a whole lot of bush down there like this.
Yeah.
And all these big posts, like it would have been like another story downstairs, you know.
Yeah,
You go and have a party underneath the deck. It was like lots of trolls could live under there.
I remember that time Baz would say that Rasky, she just couldn't see, he'd have these visions of what he could do.
Yeah.
And he'd try to impart it to Rasky, like,
Yeah.
this is what it's going to be. And she just couldn't, well, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
He said she just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And she couldn't believe that he was going to be able to do it. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
as good. And he'd just say, like, look, I'll just do it.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was stoked when it was done.
Yes. Yeah.
But they really made it. It probably
Yes.
helped them. Would have really helped themselves.
Oh, for sure, mate. Yeah, because there was the other part that we did. With the some bloke, Jamie was the driver of this digger and of a little 5-ton excavator, and he would bring all these rocks down to make the rock spar pool.
Oh
down the bottom.
yeah, that was
had a spar pool.
Yeah.
And so that was all built down there. I'd come up on the weekends, give him a hand with all that, and then I remember making the deck. We were doing that together, putting the posts in, and we were about to do all the rails for the deck and stuff like that. And he was arguing with me about how it needs to be done. You know, I've been building since I was a little kid, but you know, I'm his son, so I shouldn't know as much as him, of course. You know, he wants to be the one to tell you how to do it. It's like, nah, Baz, that's not how you do it.
Okay,
We're talking Maxi Plummer. Maxi Plummer was, you know, he'd come up with, you know, there was the right way to do things, the wrong way to do things, the Barry Gibson way, because he just does things differently. He didn't really know what he was doing on a lot of things. It wasn't his expertise, you know, it wasn't his wheelhouse. But he, nah, this is how it's going to be. It's like, nah, bro. And I would always kick back because, you know, like, I don't care. And
you listened occasionally?
no. Well, on this one time, this was a special day. This was a special day that happened, and Carol was away for 2 weeks or something like. I was staying there for 2 weeks because I'd taken some holidays to give him a hand to get this thing done. So I'd gone up there for 2 weeks, and Carol wasn't there. She was in England looking after her mum, and the kitchen had gone feral. I said, I'm not cleaning that up, bro. We're just going down the Reef Gateway every night for dinner. That's it. Right? Someone come and cleaned it up. You know, some lady just before Carol come and cleaned it up. But every night we just go down the Reef Gateway, get some counter meal, and that's it. And so, but you know, building this deck, and just arguing, niggling, and just nothing was getting done because he would be stubborn and I would be stubborn. And, he had this charter boat deal that he had to go and do at Daydream Island. He had to go and have a meeting with someone. He had a little briefcase, a little package of papers and stuff. He dressed up and everything. He's going to catch the ferry over to Daydream Island, all that sort of thing, and he was going to be back in a few hours, give or take, maybe 4. You know, so it was before lunchtime, and he was probably going to get back about 4 o'clock or something like that. And anyway, he comes back, and I think I'm putting the last board on. Well, maybe not the decking, because I remember doing that with Jodie the next day. She was hammering in nails, and she had her boots on and shit.
Yeah.
But all the framing was all done. Like it was all just the last bit was going on as Baz got back, and he stands there, and he's like, not saying anything, and he said, maybe I should fuck off more often. And like that's a compliment, right? That's a compliment.
It's the best
I'll take it.
So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I remember it must have been earlier than this. This might have been why I was very stubborn on this particular day. It would have been a weekend before or something like that where we were cutting down some trees for the digger driver to bring these rocks down up around the top where you had everyone come up to get married. You walk up and there was a caravan there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
But down that track was where take a couple of trees out, and the digger driver was there, Jamie, I remember his name, and I've been cutting down trees since I was a little kid. Pax Kennedy taught me how to cut down trees on the farm.
Yeah.
I'm bloody good at it. Bloody good at it. So we're cutting down this tree and it wants to go that way. You know, with just the chainsaw, no wedges and stuff like that, it's hard to sort of make it go a different way. Yeah, it's possible, but it's like, no, it wants to go this way, you know. And it wasn't the way that it needed to go, you know. But it just, you know, Baz says, no, we'll drop it over here. No, bro, it needs to go. Just drop it over here. Just cut it here, drop it here. So I've never listened to Baz since this day. I never listened to Baz. Sorry, Boone. I never listened to Baz since this day, because what happened is you make the scarf cut in there, and you're doing the back cut, and then if the tree falls back on the back cut, wants to go the opposite way than you want it to go, then you jam your saw in, and you can't get it out.
Yep.
And you have no option but to get another chainsaw out and cut it the right way.
Yeah.
And he didn't have another chainsaw.
Oh.
And the digger driver gets out, and he happened to be an arborist, chainsaw fella.
That's handy.
Yeah. And he said, yeah, that tree was never going to go there, mate. And Baz said, told you. And I just looked at him like, I just looked at him and I was like, from that day, if I don't agree with him, it's get fucked, cunt. I'm doing it my way.
Yeah.
And so that was the day. So he went off down to the chainsaw shop, come back with his little chainsaw. I've still got that little chainsaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got that little chainsaw because that means something to me. That fucking little chainsaw. And the fella said, here, I'll cut it for you. It was like, yeah, go for gold, mate. Go for gold. Yeah. And Baz is saying, yeah, let a professional do it, mate. I'm like, oh, fuck you, fucking bastard. And and so from that day, I don't care what you say, Baz. If I don't agree with it, I'm going to stick to my guns.
Yeah.
If I think that I'm right, get fucked, I'm doing it my way. And I'll be quite forceful about it, very blunt, like I've been known to be.
Occasionally.
And, and so there was a couple more digs after that as well, you know, so maybe you should get a couple of tips from this fella. He's still like, fuck you, Baz. Oh, mate, I was spewing.
You would have enjoyed that.
Oh, jeez, man. But yeah, that I'd forgotten about that. That wasn't on the list to talk about today. But yeah, building that. Yeah, a couple of weeks later, I think I was on the same set of holidays. A couple of weeks later, and we're building the deck, and it's like, no, I'm doing it my way, no. And then luckily he pissed off, and I got the job done. And yeah, so that's real good. That's real good. Gadham's Hill, we haven't. Gadham's Hill. Gadham's Hill was a house. Probably, it might have been the first house that Baz. First house he bought?
I would have thought so.
Yeah, or built actually.
Yeah, built.
Bought and built. You know, so first owned house, I suppose.
Yeah, so that would have been.
You know, the garage was going good, and built a house in the 70s, I suppose.
77, something.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But this house, there's a photo in the slideshow, and it was there's a couple of words in the song which made me place this photo right there. And it's a photo of Baz's big brick barbecue that he's made with all his mates, and beautiful big long table. There's a Christmas tree there. And none of us kids are there.
No.
None of us kids are there. But Nana and Papa are there. Jan and Bill, by the look of it.
Maybe Roscoe and Lowy.
Maybe Roscoe and Lowy.
Yeah, I think so.
And it looked like it had a hangdog vibe.
Yeah.
It looked like it had a hangdog vibe, you know. And they were there to cheer him up, because all his kids have been kidnapped.
Yeah, the great kidnapping.
Yeah. And I just found out the other day that Nana and Papa came looking for us, and because they were just totally distraught, they didn't know what the hell, and Papa had his heart attack. I knew he had a heart attack.
Yeah, so did I. Didn't know.
But I didn't know it was anything to do with that. Might not have been at the house, but it was because of that, and we'd just disappeared. So I remember him saying that when he came home, on the saloon doors that go into the kitchen, there was a note hanging on the door, and there's a song. I can't remember what the song is, but the note hanging on my door. Oh yeah, that's a Bob Marley song.
Oh yeah,
Said she couldn't take it, she couldn't take any more. But that's not really what the situation was. Well, it's probably in her mind it was, but no. But yeah, it would have been. I really like when I knew that years later, I just imagined him coming home from the pub. Because he would have been, wouldn't have been home 5 o'clock dinner. Dinner's on the table. No, not that type of deal. He would have been coming home late, and there would have been a note on the thing, and it's like, what the fuck, And so people say, like I say, with all the stuff that I've been through recently, we've been through, how you going, but man, if you went home and all your kids have been taken, and they've gone, and you don't know where they are for months on end, what the fuck, man? That's a country. That's and so I was always.
You were 9, so you had to deal with it a lot more.
Oh, yeah. See, I saw all that stuff happening too, like she'd a month or two before she'd got my atlas out and said, what do you think of Australia? What about, what do you think? Do you want to move over there? So what the fuck do you want? What are you talking about? What the fuck? Australia. Anyway, I made sure that I took my atlas to school and I left it in the school desk. I didn't you're not fucking looking at my atlas, you're getting ideas, bitch, and one day she said, make sure you come home early today. So I knew something was up. There's no way I was coming home early today, and I just dawdled around, and a couple of hours later, Barry O'Connor comes out of the butcher shop. He had the butcher shop just down from
meats.
Yeah, no. This is the one just down from Gedham's Hill. Kaiti.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know, but it was, but yeah, it was just like it was shooting distance to Baz's place from
I forgot
from Baz's, and he came out and, your mum's looking for you, hey, can't you get home, and he was like, come on, get home, she's fucking worried about it, like, oh fuck. Anyway, so I wandered off, and he was like, standing there looking, getting.
Did he give him shit about that later?
Not really, eh? No. Well, I don't know. We talked all about a lot of things, Baz and I, but I don't know. I don't know if we talked about that. We might have.
He was awesome.
But
awesome man.
But yeah, when I got up to the top of the Mother Bear was waiting just up Judy was waiting in the car, in her car, I think, and Mother Bear was angry, like furious angry. And I just chucked the light on for you. It might throw out. Oh no, leave it. That might throw. But Des's Judy was waiting for us, and Mother Bear was angry, absolutely furious. She threw my bike down into the bushes, threw me into the car, and at that point I knew I'd achieved something because it turned out that she'd missed our flights, and we'd had to book into a motel, and the motel we had to stay there for a few days until she could get more flights. So that was a bit of a fugly time, like I sort of didn't realise what was sort of happening in a way, but yeah, it was weird. Anyway, I won't go into that. It was really about that photo being Christmas time and there's no little kids there running around.
Contrast that with the Rukaturi Christmas
Oh,
Day.
mate.
They're completely different, wasn't it?
Well, I think,
They were the best.
I think,
They were the best.
yeah, they were awesome. Like, basically, Rukaturi took over the hard lifting for Christmases after that.
Yep.
And we'd go up to, everyone would go up there and
Jan and Billy,
yeah.
Jan looked after everyone. Beautiful.
yeah, cheers, fellas.
Jan.
Yeah. You know that hallway in Rukaturi?
Yep.
You know how the bathroom's right up the other end on the left-hand side?
Left-hand side, yeah.
Yeah. And then the bedroom's down here on the right-hand side, just off the veranda?
That was Jan and Billy's one.
Yeah, the bedroom. Yeah. How many times did you see Billy walking down the hallway from the bath, starkers, dick swinging down the hallway to go to the bedroom? Like you come to the door, oh shit, here we go, Billy.
I give it raise those memories.
It's like, oh my god. Okay, Billy.
Yeah. No, those
Billy the big swinging dick.
No, those great times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't ring child welfare about that one.
Baz used to get so excited about Christmas, eh? Like
Yeah.
he'd just be planning it.
Yeah.
Just getting back from Japan, he just loved it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd bring over some Japanese people that were close to give them the experience of the New Zealand countryside.
Yeah.
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 I loved it.
Yeah. Oh man. What have we got? Forklift storage. That big stupid tree stump in the gate, right? Who does that? Who gets a big funny looking burl?
That's on you, Andrew. That's
Yeah.
on you for dropping
Have I?
telling about that. Eh? Hold on.
Andrew, that's how it likes to. Andrew, do I have to say it like that? Andrew
Sounds better if it's Andrew.
Andrew Abbo Pattinson. He found he finds a lot of big logs around and with his crane truck and brings them to Baz. Hey Baz, you make something out of that?
Yeah, Baz would like this.
So we'll have to get the old slabber chainsaw mill going again. We'll make a little video about that one. Baz got plenty of projects up there, like the wild honey boat, the boat deck thing. We'll make a whole separate one about that. That's all good.
Yeah.
We might even we've got a few notes here that I'm just reading. We've got the sauna that Petrie brought over, and basically all the gear for making the sauna was there, but Baz just had
Shout out
to
to
build.
Petrie. Thank you, Petrie.
Yeah, Baz just had to build the thing and then supply enough power to electricity. That was a bit of a job.
He kept ringing me up saying, I've got to build Carol a sauna. She's got this osteoarthritis in her neck, and they reckon those saunas are the way to go, Buzz.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Petrie? Would Petrie have any of those kit set ones that you can bring over? I'm thinking.
Did you even ask? Okay.
I'm thinking, Baz, how do I take a kit set sauna over my suitcase?
But you did.
But we pretty much did. He arranged the wood over here.
Yeah.
And so we just bought the heater.
Yeah.
And with it had a chimney thing, didn't it, Geisha? The heater,
sauna. They had a chimney and everything, didn't
the heater that we bought for the sauna, and there was some long chimney thing attached to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Petrie wrapped it all up, and then
Well, he wrapped it all in one.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said you can't do that because we have to have a certain size.
Yeah.
They won't check it in if it's that long. And he's like,
Yeah.
no. And he tied it all together with this really strong silver
With it,
thing.
Yeah.
And then we went to the airport, and then this woman, Korean woman, ground crew, said, you can't check that in, we need to dismantle it.
Yeah.
So we dismantled it.
No, we didn't. We
No,
we
we
found a
didn't.
really nice island lady, and she just said,
Oh,
"Yeah,
so
off you
I
go."
know
Off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it to oversized baggage.
Yeah, we had oversized baggage.
And the same thing happened in Brisbane.
Yeah. We got it through anyway, and we got the sauna rocks. They're about 20 kgs on their own.
Oh.
We bought them in as well.
So that was a whole nother project, wasn't it?
That was fun. That was good fun.
Yeah, like all the hungies and that sort of thing too. We'll make another separate one about hungies because we're gonna do. It seems to have come up at the party the other night, the early beach wake / celebration. That everyone seems to think we're doing a hungy for Baz's 80th birthday next year, next April 28th. So I guess as long as Carol does believe that that it is the bride's job to dig the hungy hole, and as long as she still believes that, we're going with it.
Think she might need a hand this time? A little bit of a hand? No? She can handle it. Okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yep. Rusty's tough.
She's tough. Yeah, so she's going to dig the hole, and then everyone just turns up for the hungy. Because hungies are no work.
It's easy.
At all. At all. No.
Hey, Bradley, they're easy, eh?
Talk about the pizza oven?
Yeah, we're going to have a talk about, since you brought up the pizza oven.
Yeah.
So the pizza oven is, so Baz roped in Rangy Broman to make you, Guy, a pizza oven, because that's what you asked for.
No, I asked for a teppanyaki table.
You asked for what?
Teppanyaki table.
Oh, but he'd already made a couple of those. Why do you ask for something he's already sort of proven, you know what I mean?
Because I didn't know any better back then.
Yeah. So, anyway, reverse psychology for Baz. You know, you just need to, like, sometimes, I found it very hard to do reverse psychology on Baz. Because sometimes he'd get wise to you, and he'd go harder the other way. So I just found it was just easier to shut up and say nothing.
Well,
Don't give him any ideas about something, and you know, like if he was going to do something, it's like, oh, I'm not going to say that's good or bad. I'm just going to say here and just hope he forgets.
No, the crazy thing is he'd made up his mind already. He used to ask me for the sake of asking. He already brought the book. I taught him how to make the pizza.
He already making, but he just asked you anyway.
He was just being polite.
It was the book that this guy in Adelaide.
You should have taken the cues. Yeah.
This guy in Adelaide had written this book. He lived just down the road from Danny at the time.
Yeah.
And just by chance, Baz found this book about building this pizza oven.
Yeah.
And he brings it out and he shut it up and do that and starts drawing diagrams. And
so the bit that I want to talk about, I remember being there that night for the christening of the pizza oven.
Hang on, this is a Baz O'Connor beer.
Yeah, Baz O'Connor beer, because that's the night he died.
Yep,
yes.
It was. Well done.
It was 29th of
June.
June? Yes, because Jodie was not there because there was the end of financial year. She was doing all the bookwork. And so, very kind. Cheers, mate. I remember everyone sort of, hey, come out, better come out here and have a chat. Better come out, everyone.
We would have sat out on the front deck.
Sat out on the front deck, had a port for Baz.
Yeah, we did.
But I remember bringing over those little temperature guns.
That's right, still got them.
Yeah, still got them. Yeah, and we'd load up this fire into this pizza oven, and it was like, this thing topped out at 500 degrees.
I think it might have gone 600 maybe.
Yeah, but something like that. And it was like going past it. And I was like, oh shit, this is hot. You know, it's supposed to be 450 or 3. I don't know what it was.
I think it reaches to 600 at one stage.
Yeah. And anyway, it was like, oh shit, this is hotter than they're supposed to be, or that they need to go to, you know. And anyway, that was all fine. It was do you remember when Baz cut the power? No. He had the big spatula thing, which is basically a big rectangle piece of tin, and a broomstick. You know, it was for bringing out the things. Every time he would get a pizza out, he'd be proud as punch, and he'd get this thing and stomp it down like this. But that was where the power cord was. And it's like chop through the power cord, cut all the power out. And then I had to go reset all the things and trim everything out.
What about how many people he wanted to invite? You need to talk about that.
We did that.
Yeah, he wanted more people, really, and you just disappointed him by not allowing it.
You're a bit hard on him.
And that's why you weren't the favourite daughter-in-law.
But the next day the pizza oven almost burnt the house down. You might call fire.
Well, hang on, we're getting to that. Okay, well,
get to it.
so that
tripping in from a cheap
yeah. You're not actually part of this. You're like an extra. You're an extra. You're not in the.
I'll shut up.
Okay, yeah, please. That'd be nice. Thank you. Is that possible?
So where are you going to go now?
Where are we going to go now? Well, exactly what Guy said. We were down having a few. I think we were actually waiting for people to come from the main party down or something like that. It was a breakfast. There was a breakfast, and we're waiting. And we were looking up, and it's like, is anyone they're coming? It's like they're just up there. You know, we could sort of like once again, it's like a golf shot. distance. You could shoot. You could shoot like a 5-iron or maybe a bit more. Hybrid 3-wood maybe would get you up to your place. Right? That's about that distance, and we're looking up, and we're thinking, I thought the fire was out last night. There's all the smoke coming out. And someone went and had a look, didn't they?
K-Bear, I think.
K-Bear.
K-Bear was there.
Who's K-Bear?
Beano's ex.
Beano's ex.
K-Bear.
Oh, K-Bear. I like her.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. Shout out to K-Bear.
Yes.
Yeah, no, she went down and had a look.
Yeah,
And,
she went down and had a look, and the pizza oven was on fire because Baz and Rangi Broman had built the structure underneath where the hotbed was with all the fire bricks and everything, which was all insulated and everything. He built the structure out of wood.
And it had all this heat-resistant bricks and stuff that like it. About that much.
But it had gone through all the heat-resistant bricks, and then the frame underneath caught fire, and that's what was burning up there. And the fire engines came. No, not quite.
I don't think so. I think we got it out.
I think we
got it out.
Yeah.
We just had to settle it down and
So
take all the ashes out and let it settle.
So there we
Wasn't it scary?
The next day, the pizza oven nearly burned down.
Yeah.
There's a one hit wonder.
Yeah, just about.
Hey, one hit wonder.
We got all that sorted.
But I think Baz come and did a rehash job on it. Built it all out of metal. Yeah. So that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, you got to do your face ID, Brosy. There we go. Now I wasn't there. We're gonna just. Are you finished with the pizza thing?
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I heard there was a drama with the Pavlova at Christmas time.
You mean Pavlova Gate?
Pavlova Gate.
Yeah. So we're at Roscoe's, and this is Christmas just gone.
Yeah.
And Baz and Carol, luckily they made it over because it wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
I don't think had a few things going on with his health that he was trying to deal with and stuff.
Yeah, the cellulitis as well, and some other things.
Yeah. But
He was hallucinating that morning.
Yeah.
It'd been promised that helicopter ride if he came over. So he was pretty keen to get there, and he made it. And then they found someone, Stevie too, looked after the dogs, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, that was good. Cheers, mate.
Well done.
Good on you. Yeah.
And so they made it over, and we a couple of days in the harbour where he fixed up the few cracks in the pizza oven, got all that sorted, and did a couple of other jobs. And then we went down to Roscoe's and
Gizzy
Hard across the road from the Hicka. And that was on the 20th, Saturday, the Friday I think, and we had a party at the Hicka on the Sunday, and then we had a couple of days before Christmas. So I said to Baz, what do you reckon? What should we cook for take along for Christmas? And got hold of Pete and Jane. They said just whatever Baz brings will be good. So we came up with his famous Mediterranean terrine.
Along
with the peppers and the eggplant layers and everything. And he was keen to do the pavlova. He said, "What about pavlova?
Roll over
pavlova." Yeah. So I said, "Baz, that sounds good to me, mate." So I rang Pete and Jane back and sort of said, "Baz, get a terrine." They didn't know what the terrine was, but everyone loved it. That was all good. And the pavlova, and they were like, okay. Billy always brings a pavlova. And I said, that's the point of that. And I said to Baz, I think Billy's bringing pavlova too, bro. Oh yeah, that's all right.
So, ever since I was a little kid, pavlovas, amongst all the families, was a pissing contest.
Yeah.
Like Nana did a good one.
Yep.
Mother Bear did a good one. Loey did a good one.
Yep.
Jan did a good one. And for me, I was able to go to all of these people and I helped them cook the pavlova. So I actually got to be really good because I actually made pavlovas with each of those people and learned all their tricks. And so I was quite good at it. But it was just an absolute pissing contest. It really was. And people would get real funny about it.
Yeah.
Who's got the best one? So anyway, back to your story. So it sounds like this could be a pissing contest coming up.
It was, yeah. So Baz was quite determined that his one was going to be the one.
Yeah.
So in typical Baz style, he thought, well, I'll make it bigger. Big one.
A big rollover.
Mine will be more impressive because it's bigger.
Yeah.
And so he got Guy and Carol were doing most of the
He was the instructor and we were the kids.
you're doing a lot of the.
What do you mean? You're doing the work?
Yeah.
Well, he was just sitting
But in
there.
that photo, it looks like he's doing all the work.
He told us what to do.
He did a bit at the end there.
He did a bit at the end?
Yeah. I just sat there and instructed. Yeah, that one over there, that
He
there.
only did the last bit that was a wrong.
He was kind of doing the terrain at the same time, so he's multitasking.
Okay, righto. Anyway.
And so no, you get this pavlova, and it's big. And it's like, and the terrain too, he did a double terrain, which was a pain in the ass, because Roscoe had no room in the freezer.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got massive terrain, massive pavlova.
Yeah.
No,
hadn't thought it through, but
we managed to get
like
the
all of his
pavlova into the
projects,
fridge, so that was okay.
Yeah.
And then when we got to Pete's place, we were able to get both the terrain and the pavlova into his big chest freezer.
Yeah.
So that was lucky. So we could give them a look, get them set a little bit.
Yeah.
So now comes dessert time and Pav comes out, Billy's Pav's there and
Well, how did it get to be like an actual
so what happened?
judging?
So what happened was
Was that a joke or?
it was a bit of a joke at the end of it, and I think Billy had it all set up. He'd just been given all the grandkids $50 for Christmas, right?
And they were the judges?
Yeah.
The oldest one was. So straight after he'd just given them all his money, and he's like, oh, we better have a, I don't know if Pete said it or Billy said it. I think Billy. We better have a, work out what the best pavlova was, and Amy, I think you should be the judge. You're into your MasterChef stuff.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So she's out there, and she was never. It was always going to be Papa Billy was getting that.
Yeah.
Did they blindfold her or not?
No.
They were going to, but they
No. It was after a bit of eat, and it was that, and to be fair, they were both beautiful. So it was. It was just a bit of fun, and Emmy, she's presentation. Barry wins for presentation, but have to give it to
Billy
for taste, blah blah blah, and try to make it sound fancy. And Baz, look just dropped.
Yeah. So that's why when it comes to that slideshow, we changed them around. Baz got to be the winner on the day.
We thought we'd rewrite a bit of
history. And you're allowed to do that these days. You know, like
lots of stuff really.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really left wing, is it? Just rewriting the history over Pavlova Gate, but hey, what the hell?
So that was Pavlova Gate, and that was a lot of fun. And Baz the whole day just wouldn't let it go. Wouldn't let it go. He'd always come up with some remark about how Billy's pavlova was nowhere near as good as his, and telling all these jokes about it. It was good.
Now, while we're on helicopter territory,
yes,
because he went away on a helicopter ride with Pete.
Yep.
Cheers, mate. Look, Pete.
Pedro. I think.
I've never been the favourite one. Really, I don't think. Buzz has been the favourite one for many years now, mate, but the way that he's been talking about you since Christmas, it's sort of pissing me off a bit, mate.
I think I got bumped, eh?
You got bumped.
Definitely
you got bumped.
Yeah.
Right, 3 or 4 times a day, we get phone calls from random people. Oh, apparently he went over and Pete took him there, Pete did this. And there was this log across there and they wedged it over the side. Oh, mate, Pete. Oh, he loves his family. Oh, he just wants to look after. He's just everything all about Pete. And
there's a lot to talk about, though,
good bloke, yeah, Pete, yeah, good, yeah. Cheers, Pete. He really had a good time, mate.
He did, he loved it.
He really had a good time.
He was buzzing the whole time.
Yeah, but I think what you were saying there, Pete took him for a ride around his old farm.
Yeah, went over
the road.
Yep, went over there.
Yeah.
And we were sort of following in the car a little bit for a while.
Yeah.
And because Jimmy was driving us and you.
Yeah.
And then they went off. Yeah. And took him over. I think he took him over all the different places where he used to. Yeah. And when they got to Matawai or Motu, where they used to capture deer.
Yeah, nice.
And it was great.
And you've written here about the helicopter crash. I think Brucey Kingham.
Yep, that's you, mate.
Well, I wasn't there at time, I know there was a helicopter crash on the farm. Brucey Kingham crashed his 500 there. I don't know if it was the same time, but there was a time there that
So there was
the battery short-circled. That's a term that Baz uses, and it did a short circle, and it melted out the bottom of the thing. Maybe there was something about that, and something happened anyway. I mean, it wouldn't have been Brucey Kingham's pilot ability, or his level of alcohol in his system. Wouldn't have been anything to do with that.
It would have been before the drink driving rules changed, though, so it would have been alright. When they got stricter later.
Yeah, whatever, man. You don't have to apologise for them.
But everyone was alright though, wasn't it?
I think so. No one
Did
died.
it do much damage?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I remember Pete's helicopter, his model helicopter that he had every time he crashed out. It was.
That's actually the thing. In the slideshow, we had Pete and Baz with the model helicopter.
One that Baz bought over for Christmas.
He bought it over for Christmas for Pete, and it changed my life too, actually, because Pete got into I think he was already into helicopters, but I remember helping him put it together and reading the instructions, and I was like, oh, this is how it works, and I just fully understood. For me, I could just this is how the aerodynamics of a helicopter work, because I was nuts about aerodynamics as far as planes and gliders and boomerangs and all that sort of stuff went. I used to make boomerangs and all sorts of all the gliders and stuff as a kid, but when I saw this and I just understood it, and I got into helicopters because of that day, and luckily I was the first one to fly it. I mean, Pete let me. I was a little bit older than him. Pete let me. We'd put it together, and I must have been confident about knowing what I'm talking about, talking shit. And we parked it up just on the hill. There was just a gentle hill coming up, and I said, I'll just try and get it to hover, just see if we can get it ready to take off, and then I'll hand it over to you, or something like that, And I remember this little tiny gust of wind come up, and it just took off like a metre high. And then it started going around like this, turned around 180 degrees, and then all my controls are around. I've never done remote controls. Oh shit, man, I have no idea. And I did some shit and it just crashed. And it's like, okay, I think it was only me and Pete, maybe someone else. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, well it comes with a spare set of blades, let's put it together, and I'm not touching it after this. I'm not touching it after this, eh? And so I was the first one to fly it and crash it.
Yeah. And, they're a lot harder than flying normal.
It was because it goes backwards and everything. You got to think opposite and stuff. So I've never been good at remote control. I've been a bit gun shy about that ever since. The only other time I sort of flew a drone after that, or the first time after that, the same sort of thing happened, and I crashed it straight into the building at work. So had to buy the bloke another drone. There you go, mate, $750. So but that really, I don't know, maybe it made Pete into a helicopter pilot.
I think he was pretty passionate about it.
I think he might have been halfway there already, but keen wise.
No, I think that's what set it off.
So that was. Baz was a bit of a enabler.
Oh, just on that helicopter, that last real helicopter ride that Baz had. So we went out to the farm, had a great day on the farm. We're on the side by sides. We're right at the back. We were overlooking the dock land and stuff like that. And that's on the way back. We went back a different way, and there was this tree which we had to pull out. And Baz just standing there with a big smile on his face, like just watching all the winching and the tree moving, and just this was great. But what was really cool about it was there's only enough room for Pete and Baz. That's why Carol didn't go over, right? But Guy had never had a helicopter ride. And I think Baz was talking to her and said, "Oh, you've been in a helicopter ride, Guy?" She said, "No, I've never had a helicopter ride." He goes, "Oh, well, Pete, can we get Guy and Buzz in on the way home?" And Pete, I think we should be able to do that. So he gave up his helicopter ride going home, so that Guy could have a trip back. And was it you and Buzz We were absolutely buzzing.
Nice, hey?
It was so good. We went over, my mate Dog Redpath, shout out to Dog Redpath. I went over his farm in Matawai.
Who?
Yeah, John Redpath's dog. Yeah, he used to go to school with me and Pete and Dog.
Oh, righto. Okay.
Yeah, good man.
Yeah.
And his farm was in Matawai. So Pete was
okay.
over there.
Yeah.
And I think we saw one of his boys there, and might have seen Haley might have been there as well. And so we went around there, and then took off back to Pete's farm in Gizzy.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. The doors were off, so you sort of sit there with no doors.
Yeah,
It was just
nice,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Pete's explaining everything to Guy through the headphones and what's going on, and she was just smiling. And then at the end he said, "Oh, can we have a bit of fun now?" And she goes, "Oh, what? No."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, just a little bit." So I did one of those Vietnam sort of thing down the ravine, and
nice.
up over the
nice.
come up over the hill where it drops down, and
nice.
screaming away.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So much fun. So
nice.
So they're pretty cool.
I reckon, mate, we've got some schooner friendship stories. I'll just talk about the schooner friendship for a second. The schooner friendship when you went to Airlie Beach, the schooner friendship charter boat business, and there was a whole, like, I even threw my job in and came back. We quit Christmas 2000. So the year 2000, had such a good time out on the boat that went back down to Brisbane, threw my job in, quit that morning, packed up my thing, and I was back 2 days later. I went and got maybe 3 days, but I got a tow bar put on me, a Suzu Mew, and hired a U-Haul trailer, loaded everything in, back, and I was giving Baz a hand because he was going to repower that schooner friendship, take the old Perkins motor out and put a Nissan FE6 motor out of that truck, that Condor or something.
That's right.
And he was going to put that in and to make it a bit more grunty and stuff like that.
That was the most expensive truck that ever came to.
Oh yes, yeah. And for years I still had that engine.
That's still a bit to tell, actually.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, about going up hills and stuff.
No, about how Papa San helped to bring his gear over.
Oh, Papa San. Papa San put all the stuff.
So I'll just break it quickly. So before Baz and Carol left Japan, Baz had bought this flat deck truck. That Condor. And he knew you couldn't comply it in Aussie. Yeah. But he figured the engine was worth some money, and he just parts it up. Yeah. And it was just to get his gear back. Yeah. So he had these 2 or 3 containers, smaller containers that he got on the back. Might have been 2. So we filled it up with heaps of the shit. Yeah. And the cab had a whole lot of tools, a whole lot of stuff in. Like, it was all really well done. We did a couple of days, did a good job. And Beano, shout out to Beano, was going to help him.
Shouting out, bro. A lot of shouting out, bro.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
So Beano was going to help him do the shipping. He had it all sort of getting it organised, and then he's up to Cobra Club with Papa San, and Papa San, "Oh Barry, I'm in shipping. Why do you ask me?" So he was in shipping. Yeah. So, and he just made one of these. I'll do it for this deal, and it was just too cheap. I mean, Baz should have known that. If Papa San says it's going to be that, it's just too cheap, too good to be true. But he couldn't resist, right? Yeah. So he rings Ben and says, "Ben, sorry man, I've got Papa San's going to do it." "Okay, Ben, no worries, I'm off the hook." So Papa San organises this. The truck goes out to the port, and he'd lined up with Dominique, Baz's mate, the customs clearance guy in Brisbane. Shout out to Dominique. Dominique, all right. So 2 months later, Dominique calls Baz up in Airlie Beach and says, "Baz, that truck's turned up, mate. I thought you said it had some containers on the back."
Oh no.
So I said, "Yeah, it's got. We put them on there. It should have a whole lot of stuff in the cab and stuff." No, it's gone to. Anyway, so we find it back to Papa San. Papa San, what's going on? What's going on, yo? And well, I think actually, because Dominic had these documents, he worked it all out. He said, "No, what you've actually got is the truck's coming by itself, right? And the containers have been put on a ship, right, by themselves. They've been offloaded onto the ship. So they had to pay the 2 container costs.
Yeah.
And the truck was up. Anyway, it was about 20 grand extra, right? It was so crazy.
So all that shit that came over.
Yeah. So he rings, and a lot of it was shit, to be fair. But anyway, so he rings up Papa-san, and it must be, I think it was early in the morning in Japan.
Yeah.
He rings up and says, "Fuck, Papa-san, what have you done to me, mate? You cost me 20 grand more, for this shipping thing. What happened to you? I thought you had it under control. They took the containers off and shipped it separately." And Papa-san's a bit dusty. He goes, "Hey, Barry, what is money when Papa-san loves you?" and Bear said, "What could I say? What could I say?" He loved telling us that. What could I say? So, sorry, you were going to talk about...
I didn't even know what we were talking about.
You were going to talk about the schooner and maybe...
Oh, schooner friendship, schooner friendship. Yeah. So anyway, you're going to repower this the schooner with the Nissan motor. That never happened, but I remember we had lots of problems doing, with gearbox issues and the prop shaft leaking and vibrating and all sorts of stuff. And Baz was down there one day working on the prop shaft, and it was going to be a big deal. It was going to need an oxy set, the gas oxy set for heating up all the bolts, maybe cutting them off or something like that, to loosen all these hard, rusted up bolts. And he was just working on it one day, and this fella walked past, and that was Sid. He looks like a wizard, a big long grey beard. Might not have been grey back in those days, but he had 2 jobs. He was the local expert boat mechanic and the local expert pisshead. And he would sit up at that Able bar with a bunch of his mates, and they were just expert pissheads. And other times he'd do...
So it's good at 2 things.
He'd do it 2 things. Yeah, two things. He happened to walk past Baz and, "Hey, how you doing?" And he might have, like I was just talking to him the other day, he said, "Oh, I might have met Baz, or seen him around once at a party or something like that, but I never knew him." Anyway, we were talking, and Baz said, said what he's doing, and he says, "Oh, you're going to need an oxy set for that, mate, And he said, here's the keys to my workshop. It's up there. Just go and use the gas, bring it down and use the gas, and just put it back when you're done. And throw me the keys back at the bar when you're finished." And because he was going up to the bar, and so from that moment, Sid and lots of people around Early Beach have been friends of Baz's. But yeah, Sid,
Baz would love that.
Baz always go down and use his oxy, use bits and pieces in his workshop, and ask Sid about certain things, So that's it. Baz had a hip operation last year. He'd been waiting a few years to get the hip operation.
Probably 3.
3 years, and he did good. He came here, Jodie was here dealing with all her stuff, and we're looking after Jodie. But after the hip operation, he came back here as well for a couple of weeks, and it was good. It was good.
He was always ringing me up and going on about that, how Dr. Guy, because you were doing that for Jodie every 3 hours, you'd be, waking up and looking after her and doing what you had to do there, and he said at the same time, he came in the middle of the night and started taking his blood pressure and checking. He was like, what's going on here? And then you went back another 3 or 4 hours later and did it again. And he just
fuck this, you don't even get any sleep here.
he thought it was awesome, eh?
No, proper job here, mate. No shortcuts. Yeah. No shortcuts here, son.
No, you really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't sweet talk the nurse to say, "No, don't bother doing it, love." Because
So he'd wake up and the things on his arm.
No, proper job, mate.
Yeah, proper job.
Yeah.
No, he did enjoy that.
Yeah, but he did well. We had the walker thing, and then we had started off with 1 pallet, and you go out and do the steps up onto the pallet, and down again, and then two steps up, and
Had sexy socks on.
Yeah, we put the sexy socks on. I got him the special sock puller on her for the socks that had to come up to his knees, for the anti-thrombosis stuff, stop getting What was it for? Clots, blood clots.
Yeah. He would have struggled to get those socks on.
Oh, I didn't know how he was doing it.
Yeah.
I think Carol was trying to do it. It's like, I was looking at it, thinking, oh, there must be a better way. It
find
cost
out?
a few bucks. It was in the chemist shop.
Okay.
It had a whole lot of dust on the box, but the price was $169 or something like that. I'm going, oh yeah, I'm not pulling the socks up.
Cheapest way of living.
It was the cheapest way of living, bro. Oh, and there's other sayings, may as well get killed for a sheep as a lamb. I don't know where that one came from.
That one, eh? That was
next.
That was if you're gonna get in the shit, you might as well go deep.
I think that was one of the main sayings that he instilled into Damien when he came over.
Yeah.
May as well get killed for a sheep as a lamb.
Yeah. And the other one was never let a bit of bullshit get them over a good story.
Is that what we've done here?
Kind of. A little bit.
We've been pretty much on the ball, I think.
Yeah. Let me talk about that.
Bradley.
That what's that? The big bottle thing with the.
Oh,
God.
Yeah. No, that was
that photo,
for Japan. Yeah. So I don't know whether Bradley started it, but there was, people would go through when they come over to see Baz, and Baz was sort of holding court in Japan. He was like he became eventually the person that you go to see to get an in Japan.
Yeah.
To one part of it anyway, at least. There probably would have been half a dozen people like that in the country at the time, I suppose.
But Kobe,
but definitely, he's definitely one of the main ones to sort of get in with. And if you wanted to suck up to him, the thing and it became a pissing contest as well. The thing that you did was you go through duty free and you buy the most ridiculously extravagant bottle of alcohol. But it's not just the bottle of alcohol. It has to be a fancy bottle as well. Some
big
sculpture.
Big
is better. Yeah. And Bradley came with his bottle of something. It was
in there, but it was that man that looked like that.
It was a man with a big belly out, holding a big keg and something like that. And there's a photo. We'll show the photo. And
having a beer.
It was just funny that Bradley says, "Oh, I got him that. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of, and he still got them. I don't think we've drunk many of them. The expensive bottles of Napoleon.
Oh, still be good too.
Napoleon,
still be good.
Brandy and cognacs and things like that. Whatever.
And he used to have this little game where he'd get Bradley to bring something, big or extravagant or something when he came over.
Oh, just see if you really mean it.
Yeah.
See if you really love him.
So Bradley bought an ironing board one time.
I've never seen Baz iron in my life. What are you talking about?
And,
what was he going to use it for?
He said, I don't have proper ironing boards here, I want one of these.
Yeah.
And the best one I remember was when Bradley was coming over with his manager, Barry Conning. He hadn't come to Japan, so he was bringing Baz, and Baz had a ball, it was great. But our Baz, he got Bradley to get this big Dutch oven, one of those cast iron things, right? It was a big heavy thing. I don't know how he got it through, but anyway, so, and they had all their suitcases because they were coming for a couple of weeks, right? So and they were probably staying with us above the synagogue, I think at the time. We'd been staying there, and we normally used to wait because Bradley was pretty good at it. He'd get into Osaka. You could fly direct to Osaka from Auckland there, and he'd get the what do they call it? The K-Cat, I think it was the ferry, the hydrofoil ferry. Was it the K-Cat? Yeah. From Kansai Airport straight across to Kobe. Yeah. And then jump on the port liner and meet us at the KRC because that was close to there. Yeah. And so this particular time, they get in and there was a typhoon, a cyclone. Yeah. So they get off and the hydrofoil was not going because it's too rough, right? Yeah. So they had to work, and he'd never done this before, really didn't have a clue, and it'd take about 3 or 4 trains to get to us, right? So it took, instead of taking 50 minutes, or maybe to hear it all up, it took about 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. And we're waiting at the KRC at the bar there going, where are these guys? What's going on? And so, and they're carrying this cast iron thing on all the trains, and it was busy, like it was busy time. I think it was probably early evening when it was busy with everyone going home from work and stuff. They got all their bags and they turn up looking for all Barry Conning. He looked shell shocked. Get him up the bar, give him a beer, and they settled down. It was all good.
Yeah. What about the time that Baz left you Stranded.
Oh, I thought we wouldn't talk about that.
No? Is this on the boat?
Yeah, it was a boat Skytrip. We were doing this trip with, I can't remember who, I know Mike was there, Dan Hedges, shout out Dan Hedges, yeah. And
Who are all these people? I just obviously,
Dan Hedges, good bastard.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Si and Miracle were on it too.
yeah.
I don't know if Harry was, Harry would normally be there, but I can't remember being there. And anyway, and his mate, Matsumoto, wasn't it?
Matsumoto was usually driving, wasn't he?
Well, he had his own yacht.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think we were going in tandem from everywhere.
Yeah.
But he was the guy that knew where to go and how it worked, and so we were in Tokushima, and they had the what's the name of that? The one in August. Bonodori.
No, it's not Bon. It's
I think it was. Anyway, some festival. It was middle of summer, and it was a really cool festival where they all get dressed up and throw rice around and all this sort of stuff and drums, and we're having a ball. So Baz said we were all going out into town for the festival and then just to go and see what happened after that. And Baz said, you've got to be back by 5:30. We've got to be out of here at 6 o'clock because it was something to do with
They're the tides.
They're the
tides.
something to do with a whirlpool, something or other. Were you going to a bridge or something?
Oh, okay.
And you had to go through before about 6:30 or 7 o'clock. So that was the plan. So we're all good with that.
Yeah.
Had a good time. I had 40,000 yen on me at the time because that was a lot of.
40,000.
So that's today's only about
$500.
$500, but back then it was probably like having $1,000 on you.
Yeah.
Really in today's money.
Yeah.
And some of the other boys were a bit broke or whatever, so I ended up giving everyone money so we could have a good time. And we're on the way back to the boat. We're all doing it good, all together. We even stayed together, and then it just pissed down like it was just torrential. Yeah. So we're in the middle of the road. Yeah. We're only about probably 500 metres away from the boat. Yeah. And we all sort of split. And I ended up in this little alcove bar, and there's a bar downstairs. I thought, I'll wait for that to stop and I'll just go down here. I was by myself. So I went down this little bar, and I think I had a little bit of money left on me, and I started drinking Bacardi Coke with these Japanese guys there. They were hard case, so and they were just trying to keep me there. They kept buying me drinks, and then I was like, oh shit, what time is it? And so someone had a watch, and I think it was 6:30. Yeah, and so
you're gone.
So I was straight out there, and I'm out in the light, and it's beautiful. It's sunny again, and I'm trying to find where's the marina. I sort of felt like I'd get there. I got there about 6:45. They waited till 6:30 to be fair, but no, I was.
You were late.
I was late, and I missed out.
You're stranded on what? Was this an island or something?
Yeah, it's actually Chicago Island, eh?
Yeah.
It's an island, the island underneath the main island.
Oh,
The only way to get there is by plane or.
Oh, there was a bridge going over. You could drive over there. We used to drive over there, but normally it was Shinkansen, the bullet train to get back. So a few different trains in the bullet train from Okayama. But so I had in my pocket and thinking, it's not good.
Ran out of money.
I got 80 yen, so 50.
80 yen.
Yeah,
that's like
$10.
Dollar.
A dollar.
And it cost about $160 to get back.
Yeah. So you had $1.
Yeah. So I wasted.
You're down to your last dollar.
I wasted 30 yen bringing up and abusing whoever answered Baz's phone. It wasn't Baz, luckily.
You had $4.
Didn't get me long, but because it was a mobile phone, you didn't get much go. I only got about 10 seconds. Yeah. I got to vent. It was good.
Yeah.
And feeling a little bit sorry for myself with my 50 yen, I thought, how do I get back? How do I do this? So it was
This is character building, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a little bit. So it was sort of in the countryside, and I worked out. So I was scoping out the train station. I worked out you could jump the fence. It wasn't like one of those ones that you had to go through a turnstile, particularly. Yeah. So I'm having a look and watch and wait for the train to come in. And I sort of just jumped the fence. I just wandered up, jumped on the track, straight in the train. Yeah. And then I sort of hid in the toilets a little bit. And I got to the next place, and I had to take another train to get me to Okayama, I think. And once I got to Okayama, I can't remember how I got through, because you had to get through from the JR to the...
I remember you saying something about you jumping turnstiles.
Yeah, I think I must have, because I'd get through from the JR through the Shinkansen, you had to go through a thing, you'd have a ticket, right? So I did that. And then I got on the train to Okayama, go to Kobe, and I thought, okay, right, I've got to make note of the time. I think it was, is it Okashi that you go through that's close to Kobe? It was. And when it stopped there, I made note of the time, the exact time. And I thought, when I get off at the other end, I want to be able to say I was closer than what I was.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was the closest stop or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get off there, sure enough, I can't bust out. It was quite hard to get out of the Kobe one, right? It was busy. And I just sort of pretend I'm trying to put a ticket in and, what's going on? And, I've lost my ticket, sort of. Or whatever it was, I can't remember how to do it. But, and they dragged me into the room and they said, I had enough Japanese to sort of get by and sort of bullshit them a bit. And I said, no, I got on Akashi, but I must have left my ticket on the train. And said, what car were you? So I said one of the non-reserved cars. So I said, there was 1, 2, or 3, I think car 3, and this seat, blah, blah, blah. And they were ringing up the train trying to find my tickets. Oh. And in the end, they just gave up and let me go through.
Yeah.
I walked out, beautiful sunny day, and I was just like, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. Went home and slept for a week.
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah. No, I've been left high and dry like that as well. But
no,
you might have deserved a bit of that one.
I couldn't really blame him for that one.
Yeah, you might have deserved a bit of that one, bro.
Where's the good laughs about it though? Talking about it.
Yeah. We'll have another one where we talk about his caravan or all his projects and stuff like that. The trailers and things like that.
And he's in projects.
So What are we going to end with, mate? What are we going to end with? Something happy, of course. That Maureen thought you were a cokehead when you were up doing your talk the other day.
Yeah, what I saw at Goosey's afterwards, she sort of looking at me with a glint in her eye, a big smile, going, "Come on, what's that about?" And I watched the YouTube video that from. I thought, that's what
it is. That's what it is about. No, that's all good. Yeah.
I think Baz would have enjoyed this.
Yes. Yeah. He might have had his version of the story as well. But the truth is worth telling. The truth is worth telling. Yeah. And we might even get a photo of Rex Holdsworth from Gisborne.
Oh, we're going to get that off Scotty.
Napier from Scotty. That's something about. I didn't know Baz had pigeons when he was growing up.
No, that's quite cool.
Well, Rex Holdsworth was a good bloke. I didn't know that.
Yep. Don't know who Rex was.
Baz said he was. So,
No, we'll get that up. That'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll work some magic on this.
Well, you'll have to get the photo of Doggy, mate. So
okay.
You do that.
It's another hospital pass.
Well, you did get a couple of hospital passes, I tell you. So you look after that party in Early Beach. Okay. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
Baz's mates.
But
here's a shout out to all Baz's mates in Early Beach.
Early Beach is mate. I met some new lifelong friends the other day here. I'd never met Gav the Concreter. I just heard all the bad things about him from Baz. I didn't really want to know him, you know what I mean? He's man. He did a really good job doing that driveway of Baz's, that concrete driveway all the way up. Good job, mate. Good job. Pretty big job, mate. Look, really nice meeting a couple of people I hadn't met before, and I'm sort of like, mind you, I haven't been able to get up there in the last 18 months, 2 years. Been busy, but things have changed a little bit up there since I was up there last and stuff. So,
it was pretty good.
But you're able to hold. Take that hospital pass and deal with it, mate. It wasn't really a hospital pass, I guess. All the other boys did all the work, all the mates, and Chris and Pop and Tracy.
As always.
Tracy was a bouncer. Did you know that?
Well, she's not bad at that. I reckon she's probably done that.
I reckon she's
done that before.
Yeah. I reckon she would grab by the hair and just down to the ground.
I don't think messing with her was much of an option, to be honest.
Well, silly, really, isn't it? Silly.
Yeah.
Silly. But there was a bit of entertainment anyway.
It was entertainment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baz would have been
Baz would have
watching all that.
Baz would have been saying something about, you know, a black tutu and looking up your address and this is where babies come from, you know.
We'd have made something out of it for sure.
Yeah. And JC would have finished off with some joke about the bulldog's face or something. And
There might be a career there somewhere.
I'd love to see that joke. That if anyone did record JC's joke, he's not bad at delivery.
Yeah, we should
sure.
we should get people to send through any footage you've got of the last Baz party.
Footage of the Baz party from the VMR, especially of JC telling a story.
Yeah.
Apparently Damo was I didn't see him, but Damo was quite a good storyteller too. You know, he's quite natural at talking shit.
Yep.
Is he Baz's son?
I think so.
Could be.
I think he could be.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah.
He's got double-barreled Barry Gibson name.
Yeah.
Barry James. Yeah.
Cool.
So well done, everyone.
good.
So I think we better not make this the last podcast, but this can be the. Yeah.
We can do it again.
Yeah.
Do it by Zoom.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll try it. Yeah. We'll work it out.
We'll work it
Mate. So yeah. Thank you everyone that helped out with
Everything.
with everything and all the people that are looking out for Rasky.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Yeah. Love you long time.
Tidy it up.
Yeah. And then this is probably how we should finish it. There's going to be another podcast, and this one we have to do separately, and it's going to be there'll be a theme song to it.
Yeah.
To all the
music.
girls I've loved before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you and Boone, when you're in Hamilton, you had to run interference on how many chicks at one time?
That was a pretty big job. I reckon Boone reckons there was 6, and I reckon there was 5. So it was either 5 or 6.
5 or 6 chicks at one time.
Yeah.
It
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Only young.
Yeah. You're 12 or 14 each.
Yeah, I think he might have been 14, might have been 12, something like that.
And you learnt how to make up excuses for your promiscuous father. He was, well, I wouldn't call him a gigolo. Would you? No, that's not the word.
No,
that's not the word.
No.
He was just charming.
Yeah, they were fighting over him.
Chicks,
Yeah.
they were fighting over him, mate.
Yeah.
They were fighting
Yeah.
over him. What
Yeah.
the hell did he have?
It's a good lesson though. Good
Yeah, was
lesson
it?
for me.
Was it?
Yeah. Didn't want any part of that.
No. Well, I remember.
It's stressful.
I remember in Japan giving him a hard time when there was 3. But mate, you can't do this. This is too hard.
Yeah.
But,
There you go.
Baz was special.
All right.
Baz was special. All right, fellas. Thank you for putting up with our shit talk, and thank you for loving Baz.
See you.
Yeah. Choo. Choo.
Sure. Shout out.